Welcome back to True Treats. It's week 2 of Monday Night Football, which means it's week 2 of Monday Night Meals. We had a doubleheader last week with some great games, but this week we've got Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos taking on Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. That means we're making beer can chicken for the Broncos and Savannah and grits for the Falcons.
The first thing we need to do to start off our beer can chicken is to make our spice rub. A spice rub can really be a combination of any dried spices that you prefer. The one we used today had cumin, cinnamon, chili powder, salt, pepper, onion salt, and a few others. Check the link down below for a full list of the ingredients used. Once you've made your spice rub, grab a little bit of olive oil and spread it onto the chicken's skin. This will make it nice and crispy once it's done cooking. Then take about 2/3 of your spice rub and spread it all over the chicken, being sure to work it into the skin so the flavor will really develop.
For the Denver Broncos, we did beer can chicken. Which beer did we use? Coors Light, cold as the Rockies. Why? Well, 1, because it comes from Colorado, and 2, because Colorado was infamous for moving craft beer into an aluminum can, helping to innovate the selling of beer worldwide. Also, the history of the drunken chicken is a modern legend. This unique chicken cooking method first began to show up at where else? College tailgating parties in the late 70s and early 80s, and has been used to celebrate football and tailgating ever since.
Now it's time to make your steaming device, so grab a beer. For this case, we chose Coors Light, cold as the Rockies. Pour about 1/3 of it into a glass and set it aside. This will give you room for the beer to bubble and steam as you're cooking it. Then take a simple can opener and poke more breathing holes into the top of the can. Once you've done that, you're going to take your remaining spice rub and any other flavorings you want to add to the inside of the chicken and pour those directly into the beer. Be careful because this can cause the beer to foam up just a little bit. Now just take your can of beer and set it onto any device that is safe for catching the drippings of the chicken. Then take your chicken and shove it right over that beer can. Tuck the wings behind to keep them in place. Then it's time to put it in the oven and bake it for about an hour and a half. We chose an oven to prepare our beer can chicken today, but classically a barbecue is chosen for this process, which works just as well. To round out our meal, we chopped up some vegetables, threw them in the pan with about half the time remaining, leaving us with roasted vegetables and beer can chicken for dinner. Savannah and grits. The first thing we need to do is get our water boiling and get our bacon cooking. Then we're going to put our grits into the water and slowly cook them down. When the bacon's ready, be sure to flip it, constantly stirring your grits along the way. Once the grits get close, you want to throw in a little bit of butter, a splash of heavy cream, a tad bit of salt, and some pepper, and stir till it's velvety smooth. Pull the bacon and let it dry on a paper towel to soak up some of that excess grease. Then prepare the rest of your vegetables by chopping up your mushrooms, your green onions, chopping up that bacon once it's dried, and grating up some fresh cheddar cheese for our cheesy grits.
For the Atlanta Falcons, we chose Savannah and grits. Savannah cooking and low country cooking, which can be found all over Georgia, have been synonymous since their beginning. Both cuisines are dependent on a melting pot of heritage and native ingredients. Some of the native ingredients in Georgia, well, they're a coastline state, so they have a rich diversity of seafood. And because of the concentration of wealth that has developed in Savannah, Savannah and grits has commonly become a breakfast delicacy.
Take your grated cheese and add it into your grits, giving it a good stir to help the cheese melt and develop evenly throughout the grits. Then in your frying pan you used for the bacon, toss in your shrimp with a little bit of mushrooms, some garlic, of course a little bit of salt and pepper. Once that's cooked down, a squeeze of lemon, throw in your remaining ingredients, stir, add a tad bit of hot sauce. Then it's time to plate up our Savannah right on top of our cheesy grits. Grab a fork and dive right in.
Thank you for joining us on another week of True Treats. If you need more information that we just could not fit into this video on all of the recipes, click the links down below. And while you're here, remember to subscribe to this video right up above and like and favorite it right down below. You can always find us on Facebook, Google+, and Twitter. Remember to stay tuned next week for another exciting Monday Night Football game. And until then, keep on cooking.